Hey YouTube, I'm Mark, this is React.
I'm Rose. And I'm Nikki.
And this is episode 13, I believe, of My Hero Academia. If that's wrong, it's okay, you've got the title. So, last time we had the end of all the training, and now we're moving into...
A new arc.
Yeah, a new arc. I have no idea what it could possibly be.
Yeah.
They mentioned the Hawks thing early on.
Yeah.
So maybe we could get a little wrap up with that, or maybe build up for that, for a nice cliffhanger. I can feel it coming.
We also got a little flash into All for One.
Yes.
Talking back to the security guy.
Yeah. Is this season 13 or 24 episodes?
It's 24 or 25 episodes.
I have no idea.
I looked it up. It's 24 25.
Oh.
Cool.
So this is a half and half season.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm down for that. We did a little fun thing with... Oh! Before I forget, the poll ends.
Oh.
If you're seeing this video, that means
done,
the polls
actually.
end.
Yeah.
It already finished?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Oh,
it was like 6 minutes this morning.
Okay. Well, guys, we were saying it on every video throughout the week. The poll for a replacement show has ended. And I don't even need to check. I know it's Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
So, now on Fridays, it will be Jujutsu Kaisen as a result because, Loki originally was supposed to be Fridays, but then Loki decided to move to Wednesdays, so now the replacement show...
mischievous scamp.
Yeah. So now the replacement show will have to move to Friday, so we have one a day. So now you can look forward to, not sure as soon as Cells at Work's last episodes go public, it should be either that week or the next week Jujutsu Kaisen comes out. So expect that really soon, because I'm pretty sure Cells at Work finishes relatively quickly.
And remember, patrons will see it a week early.
Patrons will see it a week early. So, and also, before we get into the video, we did want to do this fun thing where we talked about our favorite teams, and we got into our favorite individuals after that. If you guys aren't interested, there will be a timestamp to skip right into the fight. But we decided it would be better to put this before, because this is, we're probably going to have something else to talk about by the end of this.
We're wrapping up this arc here.
Yeah. So, without further ado, who wants to take it away with favorite teams? About 3 or so.
I'll start. My top 3 favorite teams was the draw team in round 3 from both Class B and Class A. Those were just 2 really good teams. They worked really well together. And Todoroki unlocked more power. And what's his name? Lida was even better. And we actually saw that guy doing something.
The tail guy.
Even though it was really ordinary.
Right.
But also, I gained more respect for Mr. Tetsu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I thought he was just a hardhead, but like he's legitimately just like, I mean, he is a hardhead, but like, he's actually good at it.
He thinks about what he's doing. To a degree.
Yeah.
No, I mean like his intent. Like he's intentionally, it looks like he's just charging in, but no, he was heat treating himself.
Yeah,
it's more
planning.
Yeah.
Planning. Yeah.
He's prepared.
He baked himself to prepare for this.
That's pretty hardcore.
That's one set of teams. Anything else?
Yeah.
Your third team?
And my third team is Bakugo's team, of course, because they were... I was just good on you, Kachan, actually working together somewhat. I was really impressed with their teamwork, even though it was kind of like a sidekick situation. He had 3 sidekicks.
Very sidekicky.
Yeah. But they won 0-4.
Yes.
4-0.
I mean, and to add to your point, it is a situation where he recognizes that he's faster, stronger than everybody else there. And so he was essentially letting them watch his back, and he watches their back. Is exactly what he said, and it worked out. So you can't really knock it too much. He's still, very full of himself, but it worked because he thought about it. He would have lost if he didn't work with his team, because they had him at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you actually stole 2 of my top 3.
Oh.
Team 4 or Class A match 4 was one of my favorites, definitely because of Bakugo and also because of how they worked together. Like even though Bakugo was like leading, they still worked well together, and they complemented each other. Even with Bakugo's, you'd think that with Bakugo's mentality, he would have been more charging and not paying attention to what they were doing.
I can do this on my own.
But he really thought through, and I think he even in it, like their planning and how it was like, shut up or do what I say. Yeah. He was thinking through, and he realized he had to kind of put down his old way of wanting to do things his own way, and really put into a team, and he really shone in that fight. And then you also stole my Class 3. The reason I like Class 3 though
round
was
3.
Class B, round 3.
Yeah.
The reason I like them was because of Flexible Man.
Yeah. Mudman.
He's called Mudman?
Mudman.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
his name.
I really love this guy, and I loved how flexible he was. Like, he really made their team put up a good fight against Class A because they were able to adapt so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because Class A with Todoroki, like you said, Todoroki and Lita, they brought out some really amazing powers that or power-ups, that they weren't expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And Class B really adapted quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And because of it, they brought on a stalemate. Class A could have won. Unfortunately, they could not because of the flexibility again.
Yeah.
And then my third team is actually Deku's team. I was blown away by Mina, Uraraka, and Grape Juice.
You remembered her name? Her
I
name
remember
is Mina?
Yeah, somebody said her name in the comments, I think. It's stuck in my head now. Acid Girl. I was calling her Acid Girl before. But anyways, yeah. I did not, like we've said before, I did not expect them to do as well as they did. They really put up a good fight. And when I was thinking about it, they were actually 2-on-3 when they were winning. When they were left to their own devices before Uraraka came. They were 2-on-3 and they were doing well until things started to turn against them. Mm-hmm. And then Uraraka came and made it an even fight. Yeah. Not quite even because she took him out. And they did really well. And we already know Deku's like a powerhouse. And Shinzo didn't really stand a chance because he wasn't going to be able to voluntarily brainwash him. So he had to run away. And obviously the only thing that was the handicap that Deku had with the new power coming out, Black Whip, but even that he was able to use right afterwards. I was like, even if it was a moment,
I like how we were both right in that prediction. We were like, I don't think we'll be able to use it, but I was like, I think we'll be able to use it, and you were like, nah. Yeah. And then both of them happened.
Right. Yes.
Like what?
That's my team.
For my favorite teams, it's pretty mirrored with you guys with Mudman's team. Mm-hmm. I don't think any other team came nearly as close to being complimentary as their team was. Yeah. Not in terms of having the perfect quad of everybody supports in other areas where the others can't reach. I mean that in terms of them actually working together and being able to control the battlefield, isolate their opponents. They should not have done as well as they did on paper. Yeah. On paper, Todoroki's team blows them away. Yeah. But everyone on that team... with Mr. Flexible's team was so top tier in just doing what they needed to do that it worked out.
Yeah. They held down their own like parts of the field. And
spoiler alert for my individuals, that's the reason why a couple of those guys are on my individuals top list. Secondary, Bakugo's team. Even though at first I was kind of rooting for the underdog because I kind of expected Bakugo to win. Yeah. He actually has shown some character growth and their ability to work together. I already mentioned it with you guys. Yeah, so he's up there. And my last team is actually a tie between Mushroom Team with Class B second round. Yeah. And the very last Monomus team. Yeah. Monomus team would have been definitely the best for me if it weren't for them falling apart the second their plan didn't go to plan. Yeah. You need to be able to fight on your own if your plan doesn't go well. Especially, I get that, what's his name? Midori is insane. But at the same time, you can't just, the plan's falling apart and everybody just gets taken out immediately, I don't like that. But other than that, I actually really liked their powers and their abilities. When they were working together, it was one of the best teams. Yeah. Mushroom Girl's team is incredible. Oh, yeah. Mushroom Girl and Class B round 2. Yeah. Mushroom Girl and the Shadow Guy are two of my favorite new characters to come out of this. Yeah. I love the Shadow Guy's abilities and the Mushroom Girl, I love her abilities as well, as gross as it is.
Yeah. I just realized they're all doing the same pose in Class B second round. That's cute.
I think it's a part of the whole Kendo leading them thing. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for my teams. So then I think next individuals. Who I'll start with? Who's your favorite individuals from this whole thing?
My in no particular order, Bakugo, because he the more we learn about Bakugo is him being an arrogant a-hole just seems less of him being just a bad person and more just it's a personality trait at this point. I mean, honestly, it's just the way he is. Even if he's being nice to you, it's gonna come off really mean. But I think he performed really well because he actually worked with his team. not exactly in the way that you'd expect teamwork to look, but it worked really well. Because it worked, it's genius. If it didn't work, it would be stupid.
Yeah.
But
100% agreed.
Yeah, and my next top would be, I'd have to say it's Mr. Iron Guy again, because Tetsu.
Yeah.
I love saying his whole name.
Me too.
Just because he is ridiculously overpowered way more than I thought he was. I thought he was just like Kirishima, where he hardens and then he goes out and he fights. But he's actually incredibly versatile
and can develop.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even think that.
Yeah, and he's like the whole element. I thought it was only like one aspect of the element, which was the hardening. But he can actually like take on thermals, and he was burning Todoroki when he was fighting him.
Yeah.
So that's even
Where Kirishima, I think, can get harder, Tetsu has the added bonus of elemental resistance.
Yeah.
Whereas Kirishima, I don't think could stand up against fire.
Yeah. He's still like
flesh.
Yeah. Organic matter. And my last top, I'm between actually Monoma and I forgot the other one. So Monoma.
All right.
Yeah.
That is Monoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what about Monoma did you like?
He planned a lot more than I thought he would. Because like you were saying, you were hoping he wouldn't just get knocked out as like the arrogant throwaway gag character.
Yeah.
But he delivered very well on his planning and his keeping his team together and him keeping his head in the middle of what was a really crazy situation when Deku lost control of his quirk.
Yeah. Given that he's constantly losing his temper or having all these tics, it was surprising to see that in the moment of his greatest need, he was completely calm.
Yeah.
It almost gave me it made me wonder if that was an act he's been putting on, or if that's just when push comes to shove, he stays cool. It was that contrast for me. So yeah, I can see why you put him there. Surprisingly, he didn't make my list. But yeah, you got anything, Nikki?
Yeah. You stole one again. Monoma. I call him Mono because I call him Mono in my head. Monoma, yes, I loved his character because I didn't like his character before. To me, even though he still had his, I guess, wits about him, his wittiness, not wits, his wittiness in the fight, he was a totally different character to me in the fight from when he was just watching. When he was just watching, he was so annoying with this, oh my gosh, and all of this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, please shut up. But when he was in the fight, I just felt this air about him of just not just knowing, but like capableness and intelligence, like more than I saw on the outside.
Yeah.
And
I like he has it locked down.
Yeah. And he has all 3 powers he was controlling at once that Uraraka thought was his limit. And he was wielding them so well. Like, I really wonder if he gains the skills, like you were mentioning before. Does he gain the skill as well as the power when he's taking on someone's power? Because he was doing it so well. If he doesn't also gain the skill, he must really train, like, really well.
According to the logic of this world, I wouldn't think that he gains the skills that they have. So I think that's just his own adaptability.
We should learn some more this episode. So some comments were pointing out that we should learn a bit more about his abilities this episode. So maybe they'll bring it up. If they don't, I'd assume that he doesn't gain the skill. Because that seems very important.
Yeah. But yeah, Monoma wasn't my one of my tops. The other one, strangely enough, was Welder Guy. I loved him because I just loved his power. And the way they described it is like he can weld things at the molecular level. I was like, okay. And the fact that he was, if Sugar Rush didn't come to Bakugo's aid, Bakugo was stuck.
Yeah.
He was welded, stuck there, and he would be out of the fight. But because of the contract, so to speak, that they had together, you save me, I save you. Sugar Rush was there to the rescue, and Welder Guy, I think they had the same problem that Class 5 that you pointed out Class B Fight 5 had, where their plan broke, and so they broke. They had the same problem.
Yeah, they were the first one.
They were the first one with the problem, right? And that's what Fight 5 Class B was worried about. They thought that would happen to them, which it did, unfortunately.
Exactly what happened.
They were scared of it, and it happened to them. But yeah, because I think that's the only thing that threw off that team, and Welder would have been a force to be reckoned with that fight, with that team. So I really liked him. And then my last one, I actually choose, I had a problem. I couldn't figure out who would be my third one, so I just decided to go with Lita. And the reason I did is because that whole scene of ripping out his mufflers was so painful. And I just can't imagine, like, Lita is so hardcore, like, with everything he does. Yeah. To this point where he wants to get better. He's going to go through this, like, family tradition to rip.
Self-mutilation.
Oh, my gosh. So I was so impressed. And I was really happy that they put that into the show. It was really cool. So I was really impressed with his improvement.
Yeah. I want to point out, with pretty much every single time, the only reason Class B ever lost was because they didn't have a backup plan.
I was going to say the same thing.
With Class 3, it was, round 3, Class B, it became a draw because they were flexible enough to adapt to their losing situation. And she was like, I'd rather it be a draw than lose. And in Class 2, they won because they had a plan B. They had a plan A, which failed with Shadow Guy. And then he was like, okay, on to plan B, and that's when they won.
Yeah, Mushroom Girl. And even with Monoma, that was my big thing, is I was going to say their plan fell apart and then they fell apart as soon as it fell apart. But if they had a backup plan, it may have been different. That's just exactly right. The running theme is once their plan hits the fan. And I think that's the difference with Class A. They have had their plan fall apart multiple times because they've had actual combat experience.
Yes,
they know how to pick it back up.
They know how to pick it back up. Class B doesn't have that. I mean, they have had some experience because they were at the raid or the mansion with Overhaul, but it's not widespread. Whereas with Class A, all of them have combat experience.
Yeah, and I think that kind of highlighted the difference between the book learning and the fieldwork learning. Whereas, like somebody pointed out, you said Class A has more heavy hitters, but Class B is more well-rounded.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, being well-rounded failed them because they were so book smart or, school smart. They didn't really have put in practice, okay, what happens on the field if this fails? What do you do? Where do you put your mindset? Are you going to panic? What are you going to do? Class A was forced into that situation of facing it multiple times. Yeah. And so they had to pick up and learn quickly, and so they were able to hold their own.
Yeah.
And for my individuals...
Oh, we haven't... No, we went through...
Sorry. I made a comment.
Mudman, obviously, I brought him up multiple times. His ability to change the entire battlefield, and not just his flexibility, his raw power, I would say. Be able to just freeze anybody into any surface. Terrain advantage is usually one of the biggest deciders in combat. In fact, he can actually control the terrain. It's insane. Yeah. He reminds me a lot of that one character from the OVA who could make things bouncy. Remember that guy with the hat?
It wasn't an OVA. It was the last episode of the last season.
Last season, where that guy who was like a villain, but he was actually a nice guy, and the little girl.
That guy, yeah.
Yeah, that power reminded me a lot of Mudman's, and I thought that guy back then's power was actually really, really strong.
Yeah.
So I think it's along the same lines.
He could change the
air.
elasticity of air.
Elasticity of air.
La Brava.
And Tetsu. He was just running in there, and I thought he was an idiot, which he kind of was being, for just going straight at the enemy. But his sheer level of endurance proved that he can do it.
Yeah.
And for that, he made it to my list.
Yeah.
Vine Woman, Class B, round 1. She can control the entire battlefield.
Pretty much.
She's like a nexus point for this massive web of power.
Yeah.
And I feel like they didn't utilize her quite well in that they just needed to guard her and let her do her work. If she can get more of herself into like a battle mode instead of just kind of, I don't know,
passive.
Yeah, she's being very passive.
She's more of a protector-ish person.
Yeah. I think that plays into her character itself. But if she can tap into that more battle side of things, I think she could be far more dangerous. But I think she's one of the better characters here. Also, I feel like the biggest carry we've seen, Fukushima.
I'm sorry, who?
Bird Boy.
Oh yeah.
Fukushima.
It's not Fukushima. It's
not Fukushima. Fukugami.
Yeah.
Fukugami. Fukushima. With
why is
nuclear power
everybody
plants.
Shima? You did that with Tsuki to Tsukishima.
Yeah.
Yo, Fukushima is a nuclear power plant.
I was like, what are we talking about?
But yeah, him, Fumikage.
No!
What?
Fukugami.
Fukugami. Yeah, Fukugami. He's
Why did you just say Dark Shadow?
yeah, that's what I said. Dark Shadow. He's one of the best that we've seen in that. Him by himself, I think, is one of the first characters we've seen that's going to be able to take himself from A tier to S tier.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody else has kind of been in that role from the beginning. Like Midoriya's just been S tier in terms of his power, just insane, just need to control it. Todoroki's been S tier, just need to control it. Bakugo was S tier, he's just always been S tier. You know?
And he's just getting better.
I think we can see the same thing out of Fukugami.
Yeah.
Which he needs a little bit more time and practice. I really enjoyed his character. And honorable mention to the shadow guy from his opposing team.
Guy. Yeah.
The guy who could take control things from Class B round 2. Interesting power. He could have done better, but I really liked what I saw. I want to see more out of him.
Yeah. I think it's that his power is like, it's not like innate to him, because like they mentioned, he had to learn how to move in shadows. He trained himself to move in the shadows. So I guess it would just take him more time in like training and stuff to become more able to utilize his power in different ways.
Yeah, most likely. But yeah, that's it. That's all I've got.
I just want to give one last honorable mention to Froggy.
Oh yeah.
She was impressed. She impressed me in her fight. Another one that impressed me, like just like round 5 class A's team impressed me because I didn't expect that from them. Froggy really impressed me in how formidable she was and how adaptable to the situation, and she really did well in that fight, I thought. And they had Shinzo, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not remembering right because I thought she was one of the first to go.
Really? No, I saw her she put somebody in the...
Yeah, she knocked out the guy at the far left of Class A, and she was also one to take out the guy from the right, the guy with the one above his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, she took both those guys out.
I thought...
She did.
I thought that was Shocky Boy.
No, remember Shake?
He ended up in the vines, remember?
Yeah, I just remember Suki had wrapped up the blue guy, and he was like, this is her tongue. And then she got the guy he's the only one who wanted to stay still and set like a command point. The guy could shoot stuff out of his fingers, and she just came and she punched him because she's actually really strong.
Yeah. That was one of the things that surprised me. When she and hardening guy got thrown, both of them like broke things as they landed. I was like, the heck?
Yeah.
Froggy, how strong are you? Yeah, she was impressive. Anyways, I'm done.
Her name is Sui, by the way.
Sui?
Sui.
Well, there's a thing where she didn't want to be called something. I don't remember what it was. So.
I don't remember.
But I think that's good for now.
Yeah.
So guys, thank you very much for watching. Back to the regular scheduled programming. And okay, so other than that, anything guys expecting when going into this episode?
I'm expecting the talk with All Might because I was thinking, does All Might know about this inheriting the predecessor's power thing? Because he's never mentioned it to Deku.
I think absolutely not. Otherwise, he would probably be utilizing more powers than he.
Right,
has.
he didn't show it at all, and he never talked about his predecessor saying anything about it. So, is this new for Midoriya's generation? Is it a singularity thing? Like, I'm interested to see what All Might's opinion is going to be, and if he knows anything about it.
Yeah, I think he has no idea what it is.
Yeah, he did mention that he's never seen the first quirk user in his visions before.
That's right.
He's like, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So this is new.
This is all brand new.
So that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
I have nothing to really say. I just want to get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So thank you guys for being here. If you guys like the video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Gonna head into the discussion, but remember, if you want to see the next week ahead or just regularly support us, check out Patreon in the description. And a week ahead for the other shows, not this show, obviously, because it's weekly release. Catch you in discussion.
Yay!
Wait, what class?
Wait, what?
He just said hero course.
Both.
Oh, still critique.
I wonder if there's like a poll for the fans or something.
Yeah.
He did. did do that. But honestly, it was, I think, an accident.
Oh, she can run now.
I thought you said you were bad at saying
How
it
long
out
has it
loud.
been?
You liar.
Her horn is not as big as before.
No, I remember it went
tiny.
down.
It went down. I know it went down in the beginning, but then it was starting to grow again.
Hey, they're training.
I have to remember, it's when you were angry and trying to chase.
And capture.
Oh, this is the talk.
Bakugo's involved.
Yes.
He's still looking pissed.
Black hair.
Scum. Don't call him scum.
Come on, Midoriya, remember. He explicitly told you why it came out. Oh no.
All for one.
Of course.
Yes. Yes.
That simple?
He's mumbling again.
Fly back and forth. One's power.
Why are you here? This brotherhood. Yeah.
Guys here? Or no?
He texted him back! He's like holding the bad guy. He's like, oh, he texted me. Wait, I'm gonna take this.
He texted his daddy.
Yeah, let's see what class. Of course.
Huh?
Who's Shirakumi?
Maybe a former student. The bad part of you.
What? Oh no. Oh.
Yoink.
Yoink.
Oh. He's
僕が君をコピーしたのに力が出せなかったのはそういう理屈。そういう理屈じゃなかったらモノマ君も爆散させてしまうところだった。こんな力なければよかったな。エリちゃん。困らせてばかりじゃないよ。忘れないで。僕を助けてくれた。
he would have died.
使い方だと思うんだ。ほら。例えば包丁だってさ、危ないけどよく切れるものほど美味しい料理が作れるんだ。だから君の力は素晴らしい力だよ。なるほどなの間抜け面ともお分かりで、実にいい気分だ。準備はいいか、プランクトンども。
Plankton.
The bottom of the food chain.
I love the wind guy.
Yeah.
Oh, what are these guys?
I'm pretty sure those are his.
Those were his like minions people.
Detonate. I ran that down just cause. This better be a
That's
dream.
dangerous.
Criminals?
I think so.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, they're stealing purses?
You have the power to cause tsunamis, and this is what you have turned to.
This is why they need legal villains, because this guy doesn't know what to do. Yeah, they got their licenses.
Yeah.
And immediately they have to fight bad guys. Lame bad guys, but
What
bad
is?
guys.
What are you doing? Okay, that's more like it, Todoroki. Nobody cares.
You have some bad luck. Work for a living. And knockout.
How do you not know who
To get
Todoroki
away,
is?
Oh,
he's just running
they're
away.
Running. That's right.
Of course.
Him? His power?
Is he on
Oh,
drugs?
he's pushing it too hard, I guess. Carnival
What's
was
this?
so nice.
Idiots.
These people.
Remember the power-up drug? I wonder if he's on it or something.
Doing somewhere else. Oh dear. Flash freeze. Heat wave.
Okay. To steam?
I like how he's just jumping over the insults. What is this?
Yeah, they're awesome. The two bad ones.
Oh.
What? Oh.
Ooh.
I love Mr. Chin.
Buzz Lightyear.
Future top heroes.
No, it's the Chin from Timmy Turner.
Crimson
The
Chin.
Crimson Chin.
What?
Black market. He looks like he's ready to bite.
It's like a
Discussion.
discussion.
Okay. What was this episode about?
Well, we can start with on the top. I had Monoma. Oh, we started with the end of the last episode where Aiza was like, Monoma, I need you to see Eri tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out it's to have him copy her quirk so he could learn to use her quirk so he could teach her how to use her own quirk.
That was
And
last
also,
No, this is no.
Oh, okay.
I just bringing it into this episode.
Yeah, and he probably also wanted to help Lemillion. To fix Lemillion.
Most
Because she's the
likely.
only one who can fix him.
Because if you recall back when after Night Eye died, Lemillion was talking to, I think, Midoriya, and he was saying that, yeah, I lost my powers, which sucks, but Aizawa thinks that maybe one day Eri can control the quirk. So if he wanted him to teach him how to use the quirk directly, probably also he would have had Monoma fix Lemillion.
Yeah.
I mean, we know it's possible if Overhaul's plan was to sell the cure.
Right. So obviously he was able to condense something from her powers in those little things. But yeah.
Why do you think Ares' quirk is a stockpiling quirk?
Yeah, that I wasn't sure about that.
What I took that to mean is not stockpiling in what we think of an all for one. I think what Monoma said when he said that is it's like he turns into like he's a AA battery, you're AAA. Now I'm a AAA, but that doesn't give me the AAA batteries
You
power.
still have him out of AA.
I'm still have the AA's energy. Like it takes like Ares' power will take some time to grow. It accumulates, and he can't accumulate.
Right.
But he can copy your powers, but he can't accumulate.
Yeah, and he only has it for a set amount of time, so
Yeah.
it's not like he could accumulate.
Like he copies fat
Like the
gum,
fat
he can't
gum.
accumulate the fat.
Right. Even though he has the quirk, but he can't accumulate the fat in that moment.
Which explains why when he tried to punch with Midoriya's power, just some lightning frizzled, but it stopped. That's probably all he got.
Yeah.
Like he can't accumulate the power.
He just got the ability to pass on quirks. He didn't get all of the quirks that had been accumulated.
So that explains also why he just wouldn't know. Because some powers you wouldn't know if it's a stockpile. Like if you touch Todoroki, is it that? Yeah, Todoroki he could probably copy his powers.
Yeah, because he just has the quirks.
Which is actually weird that Bakugo isn't a stockpiling. Because Bakugo secretes sweat that explodes. But he copied Bakugo. So maybe I don't quite fully understand what he meant by stockpiling. Because you'd figure that meant, no, the sweat... No. Maybe his sweat now explodes.
His sweat now explodes, yeah. So I think that would be okay.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Yeah.
That works. Never mind.
The other thing I have is Midoriya. So I was confused at first. I was like, why does Midoriya not know how to... Or not know how Blackwood was triggered, because the guy told him.
Triggered.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And like, do you not remember what he said? Like you were saying in the show,
Whatever your heart is, you control it with your heart.
Right?
So,
you have to control your emotions.
The reason it came out was because he was thinking he needs to capture this person, and that one was the best for that.
Right, and not just that, he had that desire, but it got stronger when he got angry after what he said.
Emotion.
So the emotion was like, yeah, I need Black Whip. So that's what triggers it. But he didn't just say that. The reason he can't bring it, because he able to bring it out afterwards when he was fighting Shinzo. He just couldn't control it for a long time. But he said what happened is he decided in that moment that he can't use it because he can't control it until he's like top of one for all.
Powerful.
Right, so he locked it away or something like that.
Yeah, he says he locks it away in his heart.
Right, so now he can't actually bring it out anymore, or at least for now, until he's like, maybe I can figure out a trigger for unlocking and locking it.
I think he could work at it, but I feel like that's one of those things that it's a lock because he decided it's a lock, and he just needs to decide it's no longer locked. But he's like, no, it's locked. Like in his like he's locked. He literally mentally blocked himself out.
Mentally blocked, yeah.
Well, I figured.
So that's probably just a moment for the writers so that they can kind of bring out as a card, or no, they could just bring it out as like a playing card in some fight down the road. It's like, oh, now I've unlocked it just in time for this fight.
Yeah, I can see multiple situations where someone's falling or needs to grab somebody and he just uses it.
Yeah.
I wonder if Midoriya is gonna keep asking Shinzo for help.
To see the visions.
The
Vestiges.
Midoriya is extremely secretive.
Yeah.
Even when it's better not to be. So I don't think he will without extensive talking with All Might, and by that point he'll probably come up naturally anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he would like specifically ask him for help that way, but like he would be like, "Hey, let's train." And then have like motive.
Yeah, give Shinzo a chance to think he's training against him to get better, whereas Midoriya's goal is to let me just get brainwashed and see what I see.
Yeah.
I don't think Shinzo would backstab him.
No, I don't think
absolutely.
he would. I don't see that as happening.
I can't see anybody who's like in closer and just outer circle in this class who would double cross in any way.
Yeah.
We saw a couple things in this show that I feel like were seeds for the future. One, when they changed the channel and they talked about that Detnerat company thing.
Yeah.
No information on it, but they were very obviously trying to point that out to us because it sat there for a while talking about Detnerat. And then later, it was talking about that guy's gauntlets breaking. So of course it fell apart. The black market goods. So I wonder if that's connected or that's just another separate thing that's being seeded. Because we know there's black market good peddlers with the League of Villains. There's that guy who smokes cigars who sells equipment.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if there's a connection between that company and that. Maybe that's like they put them both in the same episode for that reason, or they're separate. And maybe I wonder if maybe those black market goods broke not because they're just black market goods, but they break if you get caught.
Oh, interesting.
That makes sense. Because it said that Detnerat was a hero support business.
Is that what it said?
It said it opens.
So you didn't read the rest of
joins,
the sentence?
joins hero support business.
I was very paranoid that it was going to flash off the screen, but I saw it was in all caps, and I just, okay, write that down. I didn't read anything else.
Yeah, Detnerat joins hero support business. So it could be that they're, like, they've been selling on the black market these, like, bad villain goods. Now they're entering the hero market, going to kind of do the same thing. Probably going to... If that's what's happening, we're probably going to see like hero equipment breaking during vital times.
Knockoff goods.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I had. He's going to be talking to Todoroki's going to be talking to his dad about Flash Fire Fist.
Is that what?
Is that what it was?
Flash freeze.
Was it
heat
Flash freeze?
wave?
I know there was Flash Freeze heat phrase.
Yeah,
but
but
there
what
was also I think he in the text message says Flash Fire Fist.
I wasn't able to catch it. What it was.
These names are very long.
Yes.
The other thing I have, flashback to the Black Whip conversation, is what Kachan said. This whole thing is like All for One's power. The whole fear of how this is like All for One. It is from All for One, but it's a stockpiling power. It's not just a power you can pass on, but it is stockpiling like All for One's power. So, I mean, in a way, All Might mentioned it. He said it's accumulating the power of the previous users, but I thought it was just raw power, like physical strength. But it's not just that; it's their literal quirks that is stockpiling.
Yeah.
So it's kind of scary to Kachan and All Might, but I like Midoriya's take on it. He wasn't deterred. He's thinking, just like he's telling Eri, you can use it for good. You can, the sharper it gets is, you can make more delicious food or whatever. He can turn this tool into a positive because he himself is a good person. So that was cool.
I like the little analogy because it is true. A dull knife is more dangerous in the hands of an amateur than a sharp knife, because if you're struggling along, you're more likely to hurt yourself. Carving or something like that. But yeah.
And Todoroki and Kachan got their provisional license and immediately went to work.
30 minutes on the way home.
Yes.
Which those guys, some bad luck.
Or
because they were right.
Good luck.
For the bad guys?
Oh, you mean the bad guys? Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was saying because like on the way, they legit were right. They were right. Nothing was there to stop them.
True.
Yeah.
But also, there's 8 of them. They have powers like that. And that's their goal. Plan.
Yeah.
Like you can't
purse snatching on a grand scale.
Petty theft.
Yeah, you can't join like a hero. Like that's a strong quirk. You can't join a hero association of some sort. I mean, it seems like the hero association is pretty tight, but if you can flood a whole city,
they could use you.
Yeah.
But I was even thinking like, okay, even if he didn't want to be a hero, because he was like, I just like to have fun, which gave me the vibe of he's kind of in it for a thrill. He could have done something bigger than that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like low risk.
And he was planning it for months, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for a month at the end of the year.
Snatch purses at the end of the year.
Maybe he doesn't want to like get locked away for 20 years from the bank or something.
True.
Purse snatching times 30. Okay, just jail for a year.
And my comment on that whole thing happening is it was a great opportunity to show how amazing Todoroki and Kachan are because the fact that they didn't get their provisional license was such a fluke. It was just, I forget what Kachan did to lose it. I know what Todoroki did. He got in a fight with the other guy that hated his father.
Yeah.
And they got distracted and therefore didn't finish the goal of the test.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what what Bakugo did.
I think he was very, very, very bad at comforting people that you're supposed to be rescuing.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's right. They were supposed to be rescuing people, and the people hated him because
Yeah.
he had a bad attitude.
But he got the job done. They were saved in the end, but they were just like,
you suck. Yes.
Because they were the ones grading. The people who were being saved were the ones grading them on that one.
Right. Okay, so that's what happened. But I think this was just to show that they're failing the provisional license is not it's kind of like fighting against that mentality of, you know, this person v this person and this one loses, he sucks. You know, it's not like that. They're really good, and this fight just in what 1 minute, 2 minutes maybe. They took them out.
8 people or so.
Yeah, so it's just showing how awesome they are, and kind of trying to give them more credit in the eyes of the viewers, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have.
Anything else?
No.
All right. Well, it looks like that's it for this week. Really, no idea what we're moving into. No idea what next arc is still.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the episode. So thank you guys very much for being here. Thank you guys if you guys watched the whole discussion. And you guys, if you like the video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And check out the Patreon description if you just want to support us, or if you want for the other shows to see a whole week ahead. So thank you guys again. I will catch you guys next time on React Pact. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oof.
Oh, bye.
And thank you very much to our patrons, Taylor Mitchell, John, Kay, and Dole Cholfa.